Joining us today is a very special guest, Senator Leroy Comrie of Queens. Senator, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, President Floyd. I'm honored to be here.
This is the first time you've been on Reaching Out. I know we've known each other for a number of years, and I'm thankful that our schedules got together and you were able to come on.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad it worked out.
Well, as you know, Local 237 represents the school safety agents who are working to keep our schools safe. And we are especially concerned about weakening efforts to keep weapons out of our schools. The mayors convened a task force to study ways that we could do policing or school security better. The recommendations from some of the take metal detectors out of some of the schools so the children don't feel so in a, I guess, controlled environment. What are your thoughts on that?
I would hope that 237 is on that task force and that, school safety is well represented as part of the mayoral task force. I would hope that the task force consists of people that actually have been in the schools and actually have dealt with crowd control so that they can understand it. I think that the lessening of opportunities, especially in an environment that's becoming more untenuous, is not the wisest thing to do. So I think that, the more children understand that there's discipline and regimen, they respect that. The more that they see there's opportunities to have to fool around or to create havoc, or that they see that there's a lessening of the things that'll make sure that they behave in a certain way. And I don't think there's anything wrong with making sure that bags are safe and that people are safe going into a school environment. If there are better, more modern ways to do it, fine. But until they can come up with something where you can make sure that every child is screened, especially in a volatile building, I think it's a necessary safety factor.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughts. I also want to thank you publicly for the school safety agents. A lot of people and a lot of school safety agents don't realize what was done when you were the councilman. You had a bill that you put forward that gave us a separate bargaining unit for peace officers.
Right. And we were able to get you to the status of where you could get your, if they got injured, they would be able to get the extra time necessary to be considered like police or firefighters or anyone that was injured on the job, because before then they could only take their general vacation days if they got injured on the job. And to get you your own separate collective bargaining was something that I was proud of being able to do for the school safety agents and the traffic agents, two people that are on the front lines for our city and provide a lot of protection for our children and for people that are driving around the city. It was something that I was proud to be able to get passed and also get the state legislature to pass also.
And you also involved in the school safety civil service grandfathering in, because the school safety prior to bill that came out of the city council, they weren't civil service.
Right. Well, I almost forgot about that.
No, listen, I didn't forget, because those two pieces,
right,
very quietly it kept. Now I'm going to reveal it.
Right.
Were instrumental on the settlement that equalized the school safety with the other peace officers we represented, because without those two factors, we didn't have a shot. But you put them on the level playing field, and we will have a level of playing field with this contract that we just negotiated.
I was proud to work with you, and I've known you for many years, even before you assumed the presidency. I was glad that you were able to become that president, and I was glad to work with you in 237 to make both things happen.
Thank you, and appreciate it. Affordable housing is a citywide challenge, and I know that the residents in your district are also impacted by this. And I noted that you have a half of a NYCHA development, the Baisley houses. So you have half of the Baisley houses. Can you give us your thoughts on affordable housing?
Affordable housing is something that we all are striving to figure out how to do better. As prices go up for property and land, as rehabilitation costs skyrocket, as the prices for homes go up all around the city. I mean, a house in Harlem is now going for $1.7 million average. The house in Bed-Stuy is going for over $1 million. People are looking at South Queens as the best property value in the city because none of our houses are anywhere near that market. But you get land in South Queens. You get a property that's not adjacent or right up against somebody. So people are starting to look at Southeast Queens as a viable market, someplace to bring their families as well. So you're starting to see an influx of all type of people buying homes in Southeast Queens, and unfortunately that's raising the price. So we need to make sure that we are maintaining our housing stock, assisting people that need some help with maintaining their homes. We consistently, in fact, today I just left a program where we had Keyspan and Con Edison, and also the New York State Office of Aging, where we were assisting seniors primarily with making sure that they can meet their utility needs for the wintertime, so that they don't wind up having to come out of their homes because they're having problems meeting their bills. We need to do other things to ensure that young people are purchasing those homes as well, working with programs like Jamaica Neighborhood Housing Service and other first-time home buyer programs so that they can buy these affordable properties as well.
You serve on a number of committees in the state Senate. What are some of the committees and what are the priorities that you hope to tackle?
Well, I'm ranking on the Elections Committee and also Consumer Protections Committee. I serve on the Agriculture Committee. I serve on the Judiciary Committee. I serve on the Racing, Gaming, and Wagering Committee. I also serve on the Judiciary Committee. And I hope to, within all of these committees, do some things in the next session dealing with elections. Hopefully we can try to push the opportunities to give people election choice so they're not just stuck on one day to go vote, such as in Florida where you can vote over a 2-week period. On the Judiciary Committee, we look at different people to serve on judicial positions and other cabinet positions within the governor's administration. We hope to be able to recommend more minorities for those positions. In the Consumer Protections Committee, I'm looking to do a few things and try to help people with having problems with credit, obtaining credit and getting credit. Also, protecting people that are having problems with used cars. We're finding a lot of our constituents that have purchased used cars are having problems with the maintenance and making sure that they did not buy a lemon months down the road. And consumer protection, we're also looking at helping young people with getting home loans. And also, it's not one of my direct committees, but I'm looking to try to help people with Mitchell-Lama and rent-stabilized properties, because we're finding that a lot of those properties are flipping the apartments that they have to people and then not holding the Mitchell-Lama rate to the new tenant that's coming in, not knowing that it's a Mitchell-Lama property.
Now, here's a subject that I haven't heard in a while, but it affected Southeast Queens prior to you becoming a senator, but you were a councilman when this affected the area. Predatory lending. Southeast Queens had one of the highest concentration of predatory lending. How is that now?
Still high. It's still one of the highest in the city, and if not the country. We still have a lot of people that unfortunately purchased homes at the end of the bubble that really can't afford the home. They were given a bill of goods from real estate people that they could, do balloon loans, and a lot of those loans are now coming due again, and people just can't afford the balloon rate. It's difficult for them to refinance because they're under. Their mortgage is worth more than the property is worth, even in today's market. So they're having a difficult time being able to recoup or get a refinance done. You have a lot of people that purchased homes and really didn't have the income to afford it even at the lower rate. And then they've had a loss in income because they've had either a loss of job or separation in the family, and so they're having a difficult time. So we're still consistently providing program support and opportunities for people to work with different lenders, to work with Neighborhood Housing Service, to work with other groups that are providing support for people that are in trouble with their mortgage.
unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this segment of Reaching Out. Anyone find themselves in need of help with those mortgages can contact the Senator's office, and I'm certainly sure that they will reach out and give you the help that you need. Thank you for coming on Reaching Out.
Thank you, President Floyd. And my number is 718-454-0162. And we're back on Farmers in Murdoch.